What's up, everybody? Okay, so I had an idea the other day. Had a thought. If I was gonna go to Dick's Sporting Goods and buy a kayak, and I could only pick my top 3 from there, which ones would it be? So in this video, guys, I'm gonna talk about which kayaks I like the best on the Dick's Sporting Goods floor, which one that I would pick and would not be afraid to put on top of my kayak and hit the water. The best bang for the buck. Not the most expensive, the best bang for the buck. So in this video, we're talking about it, guys. Here we go. So my idea for this video was to do it in the store, but there was so much background music and just bad sound in there, and I was having to whisper the whole time, that I had to bring it back to the office. I figured I could explain it better from here and be a little more personal with what I had to say. So the first thing I noticed was that they were all about 600 bucks. There was a couple in the $400 range, and they had a few like other kayaks that Academy didn't carry. I looked at the Ocean Kayaks, the Eagle Talons, the Pelican 120s, and even the Field & Stream. And I said, you know, like, they were all around the $600 range. A few off the top of my head that really kind of struck out was the Field & Stream and the Eagle Talon. I think this Eagle Talon is probably the best bang for the buck at 400 bucks. Pretty fishable kayak at 12 feet right there. So the first one that really stuck out in my head when I was there was that Shadow Caster, the Field & Stream Shadow Caster. It had an awesome seat. You could tell it had a deck that was pretty thought out. It had the adjustable feet pedals, foot pedals to kind of adjust like your length of your feet, and a lot of other creative features. It seemed like it was a very good kayak. The two big things that really stuck out with me on this kayak was that it had that blunt nose almost directly like the was it the Ocean Kayak Predator, where it had that boxy nose with the point on the bottom where like the bow was pointed, but it still had that nose lip to it. Like a flat nose, but like it was like pointed underneath, and it had that little catch. My thought to that kayak is that if you go to take it BTB, and I might be wrong on this because I haven't tried it, you can comment down below if you've got this kayak and what you think about it. But my first thought is when you go to break through the surf offshore and you hit the break with that lipped nose, that it's going to catch a lot of water and it's going to be like hitting a brick wall. That's why I like those little pointy kayaks when I'm paddling, because it just cuts right through it. The Outback, you can really tell, the Hobie Outback does the same thing, but it's not, it doesn't have that lip on it. It basically plows through the surf. And when you get in a big surf environment, it's like hitting a brick wall. And sometimes it's really hard to get through the surf. And sometimes it'll lift you straight up, just like that. So for $7.99, that Shadow Caster will get you rocking, okay? The handles are plastic. They're not plastic, but they're built into the frame of the kayak. That's a good thing. They'll last a long time like that. The side handles, though, are nylon. And that's gonna help you put it up on the car, take it off the car, move it around. You're gonna grab that handle, you're gonna move it. I use it on my Outback a lot, picking up and moving it around. Those will probably die by year 2. Nylon handles usually don't last long. I go and I beat up my kayaks a lot more than normal people. Not saying anything bad about that, I'm just saying that I use it a lot. But the seat looks awesome. It's got that nose like the Predator. I'm looking at it right here on the screen if you're wondering what I'm looking at. But it's got that storage hatch. Looks like it's got plenty of room. I would say that it's probably better for the lighter waters, the estuaries, the light bays, the ponds, the rivers, like freshwater stuff, the bays. But like I said, when you go to break the surf, that lip is probably going to catch a lot of water. If it's a calm day, you'll be fine. No biggie. I'm just saying if you are trying to run the gut in a 2+ day, you're going to feel it. The number 2 kayak, they had these ocean kayak capers, okay? And that is not a bad kayak. Like $6.99, these were 10-footers. I would not get the 10-footer, okay? Unless you're buying it for a younger person. 10 feet is kind of limiting. It's like one of those sizes that's good for ponds, if you don't have a lot of places to store it, if you need to car top it or whatever. 10 foot's not bad, but for me, fishing the bigger water bays, fishing rivers with a lot of current, a lot of wind, and then even wanting to go offshore, 10 feet is not long enough. I always suggest 13 feet plus, no matter what. If you're pedaling is a different story. But these capers are built well. They got good side handles, and they're not a bad little kayak. You can put a crate in the back of that, rock and roll. I mean, Rob does work in his frenzy. I'm just saying, it can be done, but he is a beast and he can paddle through just about anything. And this one's going to run like a tugboat at 10 feet. So you need to get the length on it. Not a bad kayak for $6.99. It's on the small end. Oh, it's 11 feet, not 10. Sorry, correction. It's 11 feet. I just looked at it. All right. So this is my number 1 pick for my day schmoozing right through Dick's Sporting Goods. Is that Field & Stream Eagle Talon 12 foot. I think it's the 120. 120 for $5.49. I think in this day it is actually cheaper than that. It's actually $4.29 at Dick's at the mall in Pensacola. That's a solid deal. I just looked it up. They're $100 more online. FYI, it's a sale. But this kayak, I like it. I've seen a lot of them out there on the water. I've seen a lot. They're long enough to cut, but the thing is there's not a lot of moving parts. And usually the number 1 thing that goes bad on cheaper kayaks are the handles and the seats and anything that is not molded to the kayak. So kayaks that have a full body with nothing attached to it, riveted, molded, screwed, tied, whatever, those kayaks will last a long time because plastic really doesn't go bad. And this kayak, it looks like it'll last a while. Treat it right, take care of it right. For $420, you're fishing all over the place. I like it. I will recommend it. It is a recommended kayak. It's got 2 rod holders to get you fishing. Put your crate in there. You got as many more rod holders as you want. I think it comes with a rod holder up front too that'll adjustable around. And if you don't like the seat, you can upgrade the seat. I think that is the best kayak that I saw at Dick's. I'm going with the cheap one. $4.29, 12 feet. That is going to be a fish catching machine. I'd put it on top of my truck and roll down to the beach with it, and we'd be catching fish. I'm picking that one. That's my favorite one, that Eagle Talon 12 120, the angler kayak. 68 pounds. I like it. That's what we're going with. So just to round them all out, the first one, the Shadowcaster, I thought was a little overpriced, had a fancy seat, and the side ones, the side handles were but it made up for it with the front and bow ones, but it was a little more expensive. It looked like it was a really good kayak, kind of a knockoff the Ocean Kayak one. If you've used this one, put it down below so everybody else can find out. My second one was that Ocean Kayak Caper. Was probably a well-built little, very functional kayak. It's $600. But you're probably buying the name on that one. And then my favorite one, the number 1, is that Eagle Talon. I like it. Comment down below if you've used that Eagle Talon and if you like it. It looks like a winner. That Pelican 120, I just don't like how round-nosed it is. It's probably a great boat. It's got that round nose, and if you ever got to cut through the wind with a round nose, it's going to eat you up. You're going to be looking like a tugboat. But that's all I got, guys. I wanted to put my opinion out there. Maybe this helps somebody. I've personally bought 2 kayaks from the store from Academy. Check out that video where I walked in and picked out my top kayaks from Academy. I'm gonna link it right here. I've pretty much got all my kayaks from Craigslist and from Facebook Marketplace. And I've only bought one from a fancy store, and that was my Outback. And I've had it for like 3 years now, and everything is broken on it, and I've had to fix it, but that's part of the game, guys. So I hope you like this video, guys. Don't forget to check out my other video, my top 5 kayaks from Academy. I'm doing a whole series. I'm going to link them at the end of this video on stuff like this. So if you're starting out, I'm here to help you guys. That way you don't have to, you know, scour the internet like I did. Be a one-stop shop. See you later.
If you want to, I'll get you flowers waiting around the bend. Baby, let's just pretend. I wanna stay like this forever. Wanna stay right here with you. Wanna stay right here with you. As the rest we fall until it all breaks down.